Good morning, Pilgrim. A little foggy this morning. Not cold, but it's foggy. Change in the weather. Within 7 days here, it's supposed to be up to 91 degrees. So 65 today, and slowly up to 91 in a week. A little too warm. I like the 70s. They could get to 72 and stay there. What's the temperature in heaven, do you suppose? I don't know, but I know it's pleasant. The Sermon on the Mount this morning, at least the first part of it, the Beatitudes. And it's kind of nice when readings kind of go together like bricks on a wall. Sermon on the Mount. Seeing the crowds, he went up on the mountain. And when he sat down, his disciples came to him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you, falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. May 9th, 1858. Surrey Gardens again. The Music Hall. Spurgeon's sermon entitled The World Turned Upside Down. These that have turned the world upside down are come hither also. Acts 17:6. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Yeah, Pilgrim, the merciful are not much respected in this world, at least if they are imprudently merciful. The man who forgives too much or who is too generous is not considered to be wise. But Christ declares that he who has been merciful, merciful to supply the wants of the poor, merciful to forgive his enemies and to pass by offenses, shall obtain mercy. Here again is the world turned upside down. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. The world said, blessed is the man who indulges in a carefree life. If you ask the common run of mankind who is the happy man, they'll tell you. The happy man is he who has abundance of money and spends it freely and is freed from restraint. The guy who leads a merry dance of life, who drinks deep of the cup of intoxication, who revels riotously, who like the wild horse of the prairie is not restrained by reason, but who dashes across the broad plains of sin, unharnessed, unguided, and unrestrained. Yeah, this is the man whom the world calls happy, the proud man, the mighty man, the Nimrod, the man who can do just as he wishes, the man who spurns to keep the narrow way of holiness. Now the scripture says, not so, no, not so, for the blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed is the man who shuns the place where sinners love to meet, who fears to tread their wicked ways and hates a scoffer's seat. The man who cannot touch one thing because that would be lascivious, nor another, because that would spoil his communion with his master. A man who cannot frequent this place of amusement because he could not pray there, and cannot go to another because he could not hope to have his master's sanction upon an hour or so spent, that man is blessed. Yes, the world was turned upside down through men who had been turned upside down. Men who had been turned upside down. Mark 34:35. But they kept silent, for on the way they had argued with one another about who was the greatest. And he sat down and called the 12, and he said to them, if anyone would be first, he must be last of all and servant of all. Turned upside down. Mark 10:42-44. And Jesus called them to him and said to them, You know that those who are considered rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones exercise authority over them. But it shall not be so among you. But whoever would be great among you must be your servant. Whoever would be first among you must be slave to all. Jesus said those things. Take them to heart, pilgrim. Think about all these things. Meditate upon them. The Sermon on the Mount. Who is it speaking to? What does it all mean? Put that all together with what we've been reading from this other fellow, Johann Art. Is that the fellow's name? Put these things all together and think on your life. I spent a great deal of time thinking on mine, especially since I started reading the Bible. So, pilgrim, God bless and have a blessed day.